Let's talk about Doge. So it's been obviously Elon Musk left, and now they saying that they canceled that it's over. An interesting thing about Doge was Department of Government Efficiency, and the whole idea was to slash the budget drastically. And the
Hmm.
interesting thing about it is
How's that
since
working?
the U.S. has officially added $2.1 trillion of debt since Doge was formed. That's $6.5 billion per day for 326 days in a row. So, but one of the things, like I said,
Amazing.
even when Mike Novogratz was saying before, is that
He did say it.
Trump
The
has a
spender.
history of spending. He's not
Mhm.
a fiscal conservative.
Mm-mm.
So anybody that thought that okay, Trump's gonna get in office and now they're gonna just start slashing the debt, no, they've
Mhm.
added 6.5 billion to the debt like every single day. Like the debt was never going to get slashed
No,
under this administration.
maybe Democratic debt or Democratic programs, but like
Yeah,
the
democratic
what?
programs
Yeah,
like
excuse me, yeah,
subsidy programs, stuff like that.
DEI stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
stuff
as
like
far as
that. That'll
no,
get cut, but they're gonna spend more money on war.
hmm
They're gonna spend more money. Like yeah, it looks like it's getting cut because they're going to take away after school programs in Chicago, but then
hmm
they're going to send an extra $500 billion war package.
hmm yeah.
What happens to the people who lost their jobs because of Doge? Is that a lawsuit?
No, well,
Who you going to sue?
I don't.
who
I
gonna
don't. I'm
sue?
just. I'm just trying to think. Like this was a department that was created and has been dissolved in the same calendar year, and people's lives are really like you know what I mean. Like
Did
federal
Elon
work.
get his return?
Oh, he got his return.
Well, he got his return, and then the relationship is repaired. And Trump said,
Everything.
"You lucky I'm on your side." So he learned too, really quickly.
But
But
that's
it
one of
was,
that's one of the things why we going to DC is because we got to talk to lawmakers.
hmm
Got to do it.
Vitally important.
so
Yeah.
Both sides of the aisle. What are you guys interested in? Both sides of the aisle.
left wing, right wing, same bird.
So how will this play out for investing? Peter, not Peter Thiel.
Burry,
What you, huh?
Michael Burry.
No, no.
What are we thinking?
He wrote a book about the fall of America.
Oh, Ray Dalio.
Ray Dalio has a thesis that America's debt is going to lead to the fall of America. Pretty much, that's a compact way of saying it. But he's very concerned about the debt of America on the financial markets.
hmm
So, being that this debt is just continuing to go up, um, will this have a tremendous impact on the markets at some point?
Yeah, this is part of the reason why only 4% of the S&P can outperform the Mag 7. It is the debt structure that is here in America, and one day we'll have the conversation. Not tonight, but who's causing the forced buying and debt increase in our country? But not tonight. Um, I think we'll end up having more hyper concentration as a result, and I think that Max 7 may eventually become 5 companies, or maybe in 7 years. So
5.
mhm.
Tell me more.
When I first came out with 2 Tech 2 Index, right, the thought was like, you are over concentrated. But I talked to somebody a few weeks ago, and he was like, you probably are not concentrated enough now. It gives you a signal, even in Michael Saylor and saying invest in one asset, that's telling you that the rest of the field is filled with decay based on probability of what they're going to be able to add to the GDP and how little return they're going to be able to give. Well, I keep asking, what's going to happen to Salesforce?
Really, we just
You can't turn that company around. You can't. It's impossible now. But there are hundreds of other publicly traded companies that are like Salesforce that cannot be turned around. And part of it is because of the debt structure that we have. There's very little innovation, very little exceptionalism, even outside of tech and healthcare. Disney is flat bro. Like ESPN is the vultures are circling around. If it wasn't for Pat and Stephen A, that shit would have been off air.
They certainly have helped. They certainly have helped.
Stephen A, keep robbing them. I'm not mad at you. I don't like the little political turn you making, but you know, it's troubling though. Even in Intel, I don't want a great American company to die, but man, there's been a lack of exceptionalism in this country's publicly traded markets for a long time. And that's not going to get better anytime soon.
I'm looking at this 5 and I'm thinking to myself, are you counting currently constituted public companies, not taking into account, obviously, that OpenAI is not publicly traded?
Yes, I'm taking that in consideration. And if Sam doesn't get his affairs in order, you think Elon and got attacked, and you think Saylor getting attacked?
Yeah. Okay. Because there was talks that this $1 trillion valuation has just been slashed because of what Google has just done.
And the banks, this is the same issue and Sam needs a Sheryl Sandberg. I don't know why he hasn't given her $80 million to come out of retirement per year. Because the same issue that Zuckerberg had was when he gave Wall Street his ass to kiss, they punished him for years for that until Sheryl came in.
Did you see Nicole Lapin? Shout out to her. She had a dope post about Peter Thiel turning $1,700 into $5 billion
from his
tax free. Did you see that?
From the backdoor.
Huh? PayPal.
From a self-directed, right?
Yeah. So he turned $1,700 to $5 billion tax free.
They closed that loophole though, right?
No, you can still do it from a self-directed. I don't know about if you could have $5 billion, and I think after a certain point it might be taxable. But yeah, you can still do the self-directed. He had a self-directed Roth IRA, and the good thing with the self-directed is that you can invest in a variety of different things. Where a traditional IRA, you can only invest in like traditional investments on the stock market, ETFs, index funds, stuff like that. But self-directed allows you to invest in real estate. It allows you to invest in gold, sometimes in crypto, and businesses. So he has $1,700 in a self-directed IRA in 1999, and he invested in PayPal at 0.001 share, one tenth of 1 penny, and he brought 1.7 million shares. And in 2021. That was worth over $5 billion. And the thing about it is, since it was in a Roth, it's tax free. Because a Roth is tax free on distribution, whereas the traditional IRA is taxable. So he turned $1,700 to $5 billion in a relatively short period of time, 22 years, by investing that money in a self-directed IRA into PayPal.
Privately held at the time.
Yeah.
And it was smart to do such a low amount to not send any flags. But I think part of that loophole got closed.
Part of it is that you can't invest in a company that you have any ties to, work for, or own. So that's interesting. They said there were so many caveats that he met that obviously, I mean, this is not a guy who's doesn't have like super intelligence, but yeah, man, they be knowing. You're right,
but you can still invest in a private company through your Roth IRA.
Yeah,
through a self-directed IRA.
Okay,
but yeah, as long as you don't own the company, if it's not a direct family member, the relationship he obviously had inside relationship with owner of PayPal, who was in the process of raising money, but. That's just crazy how that's kind of crazy if you really think about it.
You got to know the codes.
If you really think about it.
They be knowing.
$1,700 turning into $5 billion. That's actually insane.
That's legendary. Despite his Antichrist act, like intellectually, Peter's book 0 to 1 is very smart. You can see his whole plan. I don't agree with some of the political aspersions and investments that he's done on a political side, but Peter's a smart guy. You got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, very smart. Like you said, what he's doing now, I'm not sure what bag that is or what the end game is for it, But very very smart
He
dude.
tells you in the book, global domination. He just wasn't likable enough to be president to pull this off.
Yeah.
0 to 1 is a very fascinating, because it was, when did that? I lived in Colorado, so it's probably 2013 when that came out. That's his literal, even the JD Vance and political investment and war. Oh my God, like, he laid it all out in the book. So
Yeah. Well, keys open doors and relationships matters.